right. Welcome to Hello Chaos, a weekly podcast exploring the messy and chaotic minds and lives of founders, entrepreneurs, and innovators. Each week, I get the privilege to speak with founders across the spectrum, founders from different industries at various stages, from startups to mature businesses of all shapes and sizes. Our listeners hear the raw, the real, the unvarnished stories and viewpoints, getting incredible insights on what it takes to start and scale a business and become a better founder, a better CEO, a better business leader. Today, we have two guests, co-founder and founder of InPower. We have, and I hope I don't butcher this, but you're going to just have to correct me if I do it. You've coached me enough. It's Razan,
Exactly.
Talebian, and Lamia, Tabassum.
Yes.
Tabassum. Did
Yeah,
I say that
absolutely
better?
fine. Tabassum.
Oh, perfect. Oh, I'm so excited. Okay. Yay. Chandler's like, yay. Okay. And Power is a revolutionary social platform dedicated to fostering empathy, personal growth, and authentic connections online. So you guys, welcome to the chaos that it is.
Yes, thank you. It has been.
Welcome to our podcast. Well,
Thank you so much.
I'm so excited to hear your story, especially the co-founder partnership, how you found each other, how you founded InPower. So just start us and tell, whoever wants to start, what inspired you to start InPower?
Yeah. So I remember it so vividly. I was in the forest just hanging out with one or two friends who actually liked me because when I'm in high school, I didn't get a lot of people who really wanted to be around me, and I didn't really understand why. And as an adult, I'm realizing now it was my undiagnosed ADHD. I was a little rebel. Maybe I was really loud, obnoxious, and I didn't connect with people as much as I wish I would have because I did get bullied a lot and I was an easy target, I guess, because of all the things I just mentioned. And I was kind of pitying myself a little bit, saying, why don't I have a lot of friends? If they had known what I'm going through, would they have been nicer to me? Like if I had
Yeah.
sat down and be like, "Hey, I'm going through depression. My household is toxic and I'm looking for a way to vent out. Maybe that's why you see me acting this way." I didn't know I had ADHD, but I knew there was something weird going on in my brain. I don't want to say ADHD is weird, but I knew there was something different going on in my brain.
Right.
And that's when a revolution came in my mind. I said, "What if I created a safe space that you can join and we can talk about our stories, and the only rule is ask, show, inspire, but no judgment." That's how
Yeah.
Empower was born. It started so small. No judgment. That's the only rule that we had. And it just kept growing and growing and growing. And people at the time, it was just for women, actually.
Okay.
And some people in the community were transitioning, non-binary,
Yeah.
transgender. So as a community, we asked and we made a poll: Are we doing this? Are we reaching out to a bigger audience? And of course we are. And we
Right.
opened up to more. And we were just kind of analyzing what are the problems going on with social media, because we're having a safe space, but there were still problems happening.
Yeah. Yeah.
There was still conflict. There was still people being mean to each other. And the admins of those groups, they were putting so much emotional labor into educating in certain
Right.
topics.
Well, and becoming and a moderator of those, yeah, it becomes like a whole. It's a job and a career. And these people are most of it is volunteer.
Exactly. Most. So we're trying to analyze, well, where did we go wrong?
Hmm.
We're creating a safe space, but there's still issues. And as a community, we understood it was misinformation and unhealthy communication styles.
Yeah.
So as we went deeper, we understand, where did these come from? Well, starting with the unhealthy communication styles from our childhood. Because
Mm.
when I'm reflecting on the way I talk, I realize, why was I growing up doing this and that and being aggressive, being
Yeah.
loud when I talk? Because that's the household I grew up in.
Yeah.
So the more I started understanding about myself, the more I was able to get other people to understand where they were coming from, maybe from their childhood. And that's how Empower started getting bigger, because we realized we needed some representatives and experts to guide people to understand the impact of their childhood and how it creates us to who we are today in our experiences.
Yeah.
And it goes so much more than that too. It's culture, it's biases, it's social media impacting. We're young kids, we're looking on social media, they're portraying, I'm Arab people as bombers, they're portraying black people as stealers.
Right.
As a young kid, we're so impressionable to that stuff.
Yeah.
Psychologically, unconsciously, we are going to start thinking that. And that's what we do on Empower. We don't want to make anyone feel like they're judged for feeling that way. We want to educate why we're feeling that way. Why do we think that?
Yeah.
So the journey began as we realized we want to make an app. Let's get off Facebook, all the guidelines there. Let's go get some experts. Let's learn social and emotional intelligence.
Mm.
And instead of the admins putting so much emotional labor into educating other members, we create those educational modules. So the members don't ever have to do that again. The hours they put in, these people, just commenting hours and days, just trying to
Yeah.
get through to somebody, that hurts like when someone's not ready to listen. So we cut that out as well. And
That's
Lamia,
yeah. I was
so
like, well, so how does Lamia come in? Like,
Okay, so I
yeah,
would like to just talk about it. I have been hearing. So I started out at InPower as an intern. So it was a ripen project. So I was just an intern
Mm.
helping her out with something. So, you know what, if I have to talk from my personal experience, from a very young age, I had been bullied because of the certain ways I used to look. Because
Mm.
I'm from Bangladesh, by the way. So, this is not the beauty standard of Bangladesh. So, I was always judged. For my skin tone, for the way I look, for this, creased face and whatnot, masculine and everything. So, from a very young age, when all these things are piling up, so there were so many things I had to do. I had to overcompensate all my life. I had to do
Yeah.
really best in everything. I had to be the best in singing, dancing, of course, academics. And then something happened in my life at a very early stage. I was being abused.
Mm.
So everything changed. I don't want to go deeper on this because maybe I'm not ready to talk about it now.
Yeah.
So at a very young age, I become a single mother also. So everything shifted, and it's a very conservative, Muslim country where you are not looked really rightly when you are a single mother at a very young age and
Yeah.
abused and whatnot. The family turned against you, the entire society and whatnot. So I was looking for validation and everything.
Right. You were
But
looking for a community.
yes, I was
Yeah.
looking for people to just tell me that I am
Yeah.
acceptable. You know what? This validation was so important at that moment.
Mm.
I used to actually, I used to hide everything about myself,
Mm.
my traumatic journey, that I was being abused, because people had always questioned me that, okay, why did you go there? That's why
Right.
it happened. And then, okay, why did you have the baby? Okay, I don't have to explain everything to you. There were like medical conditions applied and so
Right.
many things. But yeah, and in this society, people are very nosy about each other's life. After that, I focused on my studies,
Mm.
and I got this internship in Empower, and I was working. And in Power, when I joined, like Razan said, that everyone, she was creating something, a community where
Mm.
everyone one can feel that they belong, and everyone can feel that they are not judged for a
Right.
certain experience they have and
Stereotype.
whatnot. Yeah,
Yeah.
of course. So that's where I started putting more into it. I started talking about, what, Roseanne, we should do this as well, that as well, just thinking out of the box. And she was the one, it's like, what, you should join. She actually
okay,
offered
no,
me
no,
a
no, no,
job.
no. Let me jump in.
She would
She
like,
she created the role for herself.
Ah.
I didn't have to offer it. She
that's very
created.
generous.
She was a co-founder from the day she started.
Yeah.
She gave all the ideas, she did all the work, she went out of the way, and she would always ask me, am I overstepping? Of course, this is my baby. I'm a little nervous. And I'm like, you know what? No, like this is amazing actually. She's a co-founder. She
Right.
created the role for herself and she just ran with it. There was no stopping her. She made it hers.
That's right.
So that's why she became the co-founder.
Well, it's interesting, that you said that because it's such a powerful statement that you recognize the passion. I mean, we dream of that as business owners and as founders, to have employees or people on the team that believe in your product, your service equally as you. And we always tell people, in business coaching, you'll hear nobody's going to love what you do more than you. So don't expect
Yeah.
anybody else on the team. So the
Yeah.
fact that you recognize that, not only just you were humble enough to go, come and join and be in this seat.
Mm.
So
And not only
that
that,
is
yeah.
amazing and incredible, and it's a gift that you did.
She's the
And
angel.
not only that, you know what? She just put me in a position where we are equal. She has never
Mm.
seen me as an employee. Co-founder means, you know what, we are raising the baby together. We always say
Right.
that, you know what, we are in this
We're
professional.
co-parenting.
Yeah,
We're
yeah,
we're
Now,
codependent on
yeah,
this.
beginning, I was still, we'll talk into this, the
Yeah.
chaos. I was still holding on to being the founder.
We-
I wasn't even realizing I was. And she
Yeah.
was able to speak up near, like, closer after a few months and say, I need to be able to do things on my own and you don't have to check it. And
Right.
that was like, okay, that's true. I
Yeah.
trust you. You work with me. I don't have to check all the work you're doing. Go for
Right.
And oh my gosh, the blossom that came out of her, like from that. She was already doing such a good job, but once like the connection was gone, like without me always looking at her work,
Right.
and we've worked with over 25 universities.
yeah,
Oh
And
wow.
that's what Lamia stuck out more than anyone. You said nobody will love your product or business more than you. You know what? We see the excitement of every student when
Uh,
we have meetings, but they need a lot of support, which we'll provide, of course. But there's a difference between an entrepreneur and an employee.
yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. And it's such right. As you guys are diving into the what inspired, empowered for you to start. I always ask, is there a moment from your past that shaped who you are today, and what is it? But it seems like your past is what the entire premise for why InPower is
yeah,
here.
yeah.
Mhm.
It is.
It's to accept your past.
Yeah.
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 I
Something I
think
work with
with
every day. Go on.
yeah.
Yeah.
No, I'm just saying that we actually discuss a lot about trauma, depression, because both of us are dealing with. Even yesterday, I was breaking down, yet we had to do the 4 meetings and everything. So we go through that phase on and
Yeah.
off, but we really need to get by. This is our priority. I always tell her that in power, it drives me to even get by
Mm.
this day or everything. It's actually midnight here. It's 2:30 a.m. in Bangladesh.
Oh my God.
This I'm not even tired. This is
Yeah.
what I
You
love.
you look amazing for
Thank
2:30
you.
a.m.
Yeah. I
Like,
mean,
it is 3 o'clock in the afternoon here, and I look like death.
no, when it comes to Empower, we are all filled up and we are ready to jump for the war and everything. But
But
I
there's
think,
a back and forth too. Like our
Yeah.
mental health affects a lot.
Yeah.
Um,
yes.
and I don't know what it is. Like, I guess working from home, you have more time to cry and more, like, you're not in an office where
Well,
people are.
because nobody's there to like look at you, so you can go in your corner like, "What am I doing?" So, okay, so I'm going to ask you, what are those moments? What has made you cry? Is it just because you're going through and process things are coming out from your past and you're getting it, or is it,
Everything.
oh
Like,
my
we're
God,
in
it sucks to be
therapy.
a business owner. What the hell
Oh,
have I
we love
done?
we love the journey. It's just more like personal
Okay.
things, like marriage sometimes, things with friends, family. And Lami and I have spent a lot of our workday crying together,
Hmm.
and
Yeah.
happy tears, sad tears.
Yeah.
And we're trying to cope because we're both going through depression, and it
Yeah.
doesn't look like that, but we're a high functioning depression and
And
anxiety, trauma.
and
So
for
I was just
me,
going to end it with saying we have tried to manage this
Yeah.
relationship with both of our depression. And now we're doing check-ins. Like, before we start our workday, our culture is, let's check in, let's talk about what's going on. And again, my ADHD, I was not on a medication in the beginning. I didn't realize the impact it was, and it's hard for Lamia, and we'll get into that. But I was so overwhelmed that I
Mhm.
was not showing up as a friend first to her. I was like, we have to talk about work. I'm so overwhelmed. Let's talk about what's going on after, because
Mhm.
I was overstimulated and over focused on work.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now, like, I'm on ADHD medication, I can take a step back and actually realize my tasks. Okay, I can finish those. Let's take 30 minutes and talk about things.
Yeah.
It's not just about that. There's a lot more about my
I'm
ADHD.
sure.
But
So let me,
here's
what
another
did,
thing. Yeah, go
did
ahead.
you come in and like help bring some like some structure to go, okay, this is how we're going to organize this meeting? Or,
Okay.
She's the
So we
COO. She's the
yeah.
operations.
yeah. So here are a few things. For instance, like you said, that the moments for her and for me, it's personal. Also, being an entrepreneur, where you know what, entrepreneurship, it cannot be taught. So everything that we are doing, we are not tech experts, but we are building a platform that is
Right.
related to tech, right? We need to learn everything. She's the one who has done the UI UX, like half of it. So she is really get great with that. So I'm more with the writing stuff. I'm more with these, COO always comes with this strict face. I was just telling her that, what, I'm going to just fire everyone and do that. Just saying, I'm not going to do that. But yeah, so what is that the challenge that I face usually? Sometimes I feel that maybe I'm not doing enough,
Right.
maybe because she is overly into it.
Mm.
So like she said, that she's overly focused, and sometimes I'm delaying few of the things because I know that okay, it can be done maybe a day later or something. But when sometimes even when she asks few things, the way, the tone and everything, because we are working remotely, right? So of
Right.
course, but I mean, thankfully we never had a like that kind of a thing. She acknowledges and she
Mhm.
sits and asks that, what, tell me,
Yeah.
Right.
is there anything that I need to work on,
We do an
like a
assessment
marriage.
like
Yeah,
every week. I'm like, what
we
more can I work
reflect
on?
on
It's
each
it's
other's
marriage.
behavior. Yeah.
Yeah, it totally is. It's like, sometimes you're spending more time probably with your business partner and your co-founders
Yeah.
than you would with your spouse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
So we
so
do
you
that
have to have
actually a
that
lot.
openness. You have to be able to read each other, lean on each
You
other,
have to know yourself first
and
to
you
even
have,
identify it.
yes,
And that's also something that a lot of people don't understand. Like, oh, I am the way I am. And they don't know why they are the way they are.
Yeah,
right,
the awareness is important. Recognizing you need to first accept the fact that you can be flawed. Like no one is perfect.
right.
And we are evolving every day. Every experience is shaping us, reshaping us. We are relearning. And that's how you grow, right? We
That's right.
did not act the same way where we were like 20s.
No,
Now, yeah. So
we
definitely
we
like,
try sometimes. No, I'm just kidding.
yeah, we
Yeah.
do.
I was
But
just telling another founder this morning, they were like, what's been your biggest lessons learned, over the course of a, couple of over 10 years being in business. And I said, I've learned that I have to, and it's been my mantra, I've got to learn, I've got to unlearn a lot
Mm.
of stuff. I have to
yeah,
relearn, and then I
yeah,
have to, and then continuously apply that learning, unlearning, relearning.
Wow.
It never ends because
huh,
you're entering no matter, this is I'm curious of where you are in the business phase, but it's like when you start growing, you start out, you're here and you've got these set of challenges. You start growing, like you're working with 5 universities, now you're working with 20 universities, now you're working with, you want to go work with 50 university. it the level of scale and operations and systems and
Mhm.
team that you've got to deal with. You enter into new spaces all the time as you're growing your business. And so if you're stuck in this is what we did 10 years ago, you're never going to grow, not even like
yeah,
your business, but you're not going to develop as a person to be able to um, navigate the new landscape
yeah.
of like new hires and new people and the generations that you've got to deal with, but also just business landscape and how do you evolve there.
Well,
So
that actually
it's
reminds me.
constant. Yeah.
Um, so I was telling Lamia, I don't want to lose my spark, my ADHD spark. I love that I'm like bubbly and happy on the calls and whatever. There is a line that you do have to evolve in some aspects. It's not you're taking away a part of yourself.
Right.
You're just putting yourself into a new version of yourself.
Right.
Because I do notice
At
that
times,
when I am
masking is
acting
important.
bubbly, yeah, but
No,
like when I'm acting
yeah.
on the business calls like this, happy, go getter, and bubbly, I don't get as much respect.
Uh,
And we have seen the statistics. We've seen the
yeah.
studies through us. Lamia gets more results when she's with the students than me.
Interesting. So, what uncovered that? Are you? Is it?
I'm
Did
more
you guys
relaxed.
change?
Maybe that's why
Okay.
I'm more relaxed. They don't feel scared of me. I don't know. I never want to embed fear, but
No, it's more
maybe
like,
because also my self-esteem, I don't know. I don't know if it's about a respect thing.
no,
It's just,
let me just, you are really describing yourself in a very wrong way. I cannot take
yeah.
that. It's more like it. So what happens when we meet students? Students are doing these as school projects, right? So we want
Mm,
professional work from students. So at times they take it as their assignment. They try to do it using AI and stuff, like shortcut thing. And
right.
Razan is always letting it go and be like, okay, and all these things. But I am always like straight to the point. This is what I want. This is it. That's how it is and whatnot. But she would be really kinder. And of course, there is a difference between being professional, because we're not the teachers here. They join us
Right.
as we are the industry partners. So they need to work professionally with us. But that they are students, they don't have the professional experience. So
Right.
we really need to teach them. Sometimes I end up doing half, like 70% of the work of and that's how it is. We are evolving. And she always says that, what, I have this spark, I don't want to lose, but at the same time I know I need to change. So I always tell her that, what, masking is also important at
And I
Yeah.
will
times.
say,
Yeah.
another reason why I'm so kind is because of my own self-esteem and
Mm,
because I want to be liked and because I don't sometimes believe that I deserve all this,
right.
this is something I'm struggling with. And things are starting to click for me now, and Nomi has been such a beautiful supporter with me.
Well, and they say, when you've got a, co-founder bit, or even what I would call like a number two in a business, right? You're kind of your first hire, the person that is helping you grow and scale. You hire for skill sets that you don't have.
Oh yeah, we're
So,
completely cutthroat.
yeah, so sometimes you don't want to, you can see um, the power you guys have as a team, but
Yeah.
you're not the same. Each brings a gift. Each person brings and shows up in the way that they need to show up, to do what they need to do.
And we have
So
a universal language. We have
yeah,
mutual respect, and we know how to communicate to each other. And that's exactly what we're doing with InPower.
right.
Everyone's so different, but there's a foundation of how we can come together. There's
That's right.
always something we can connect on. We
Yeah,
all feel pain. We all feel love.
yeah.
So we're all human.
We all want to we all want to feel like we belong.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
literally how InPower started.
Every
I wanted
day.
to feel like I belong.
So I'm interested, you guys have already touched on this, but what have you really discovered about yourself in this journey? Has there been um, I mean, you've kind of reflected on that, Razan, but
Yeah.
Lamia, are there things that you have discovered about yourself
Yeah,
of
of
being
course.
a co-founder?
Yeah. Professionally, personally, a lot actually. Like she said, that I didn't know that I had this much of patience. Like I had to, no, not with her. Okay, she is like taking it
Oh,
personally
lovely.
now, so not with her. We always, like, she would always say that, what, you are so patient with me, and I'll listen. I have become a good listener.
Mm,
And even working with students or working with different teams and everything, because we are bootstrapping
yeah.
and we are making sure everything is done, because there is like a lot to create such a big platform. So I what as a co-founder and a COO, like on the operational side, you need to learn everything. I learned about legal
Mm,
stuff. I learned about tech, because that's
yeah.
the language I never knew. And I sit with every meeting, I sit with every team, and I try to learn every day. That's my professional growth. Like, if you ask me to talk about all these things, now I can fairly talk about
Mm,
it. I am studying psychology and everything, and I'm like just reflecting everything, maybe also connecting or resonating everything to myself. And this entire platform has given me the scope to, just grow as a person as well. So in a personal level, I think I have become more composed. I know what I want. Sometimes, of course, like you said, that we all want to feel belonged
Mhm.
and we get insecure a bit. Sometimes we feel bloated
Yeah.
and whatnot. So there are days, but end of the day, I know how to recollect myself.
Um, you touched on this. I'm going to ask it. So when you guys thought about starting the business, here you are and scaling it, were there myths or misperceptions of what it's like to be a founder or to start something like this that you got into it and you were like, what have I gotten myself into? This is not what I thought it was going to be. How would you debunk those myths that you heard, or did you hear any myths like that?
No, actually, it was such a beautiful ride. And someone with ADHD, you don't want to be stuck in a office job doing the same thing every day. It's like you
Uh,
want to be creative. You want to make
you want
new.
to feed that. Yeah.
Yeah. So for me, I've never felt that at all. No.
Is there,
I'm so
here she
sorry,
comes
my internet is
and she's
acting
back
really
in.
weird.
No worries.
We're
I'm
Lamia,
so
like,
did
we're
you
good.
sorry.
finish?
Okay, so you know what? Now I know how to recollect myself. Like every day, I know even if I am broken into different pieces, I know how to recollect myself, regroup all the thoughts and everything because I have a big dream to make happen. So I'm working for the dream project. That this is like pushing me towards that reality that I'm
Yeah.
gonna make
Your
I love
higher
it.
someday.
purpose.
You could
Great.
not
Yes.
said that better, Lamia. You could have not said that better.
No, that's
Thank you.
fantastic.
Yeah.
Um, what's been the most challenging part? Like, have you guys hit any kind of oh crap? What have we done? Those big what we call the oh shit moments. That big challenge. Have you guys faced any of
I know
those?
I faced something really big actually. I had an old partner, and I was undiagnosed Lyme disease for 5 years, and
Oh,
I was very sick. Some days I could not get out of bed. I was losing jobs left, right, and center, and it was undiagnosed. So I'm going through the medical system, and everyone's saying it's depression, it's anxiety, and
right,
waiting years to get to specialists, and nobody's having answers. I,
right. Which is frustrating. Very.
More than that, like I got suicidal at one point. I said, if
Oh,
I don't figure out what's going on with me, I will commit suicide.
right.
And I sat my family down and I told them that. And I was at peace with that because I could not live with the debilitating pain anymore.
Yeah.
And at that point, that week, my business partner, then I gave them more permissions to
Mm.
take over the project because we were actually pretty far in our beta launch and the app was pretty much getting there.
Oh wow.
Yeah, this was years ago. And he actually stole that beta fund money,
Oh,
the first opportunity that he had to steal it for his own projects. And because I was debilitated, I could not oversee much. And there was trust.
yeah.
We're best friends. That's my partner.
See, that's the story we hear most of the time of partners. It's becomes
And you know what?
the
Contracts
nightmare.
mean anything sometimes. Most of the time, unless you have money to like fight contracts, it's nothing.
Yeah.
Even with our students, we just get them to sign an NDA, and it's like, how are we ever going to track them? They're all around the world, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. So how did you overcome the you just let it go and said, "You know what? I can start
Um,
over." How did you deal with that?
well, I was very lucky. I cried to my dad, and I thought I would get shamed, but he just was there for me through
Yeah.
it because that was money my dad gave us for the business. He not once blinked an eye. It was just, come here, I love you, my love, and let's work it out. Best part about this story is I had to bootstrap everything. I had
Yeah.
money before learning to be an entrepreneur. Oh my
Yeah.
gosh, that was the best thing that ever happened to me.
Yeah,
I
and
so
I also
resourceful today.
happened.
Yes, Lamia.
Yeah.
Exactly. We have the same story, similar. Go
Yeah,
on.
I
Yeah,
also
go. Yeah.
happened. I told her that what everything happens for a reason, or
That's
else
right.
maybe we would have never met. So now I think the challenge that I personally feel like I had already said it, that sometimes I feel that I'm not worthy enough for this,
Right.
or maybe it's too big, or maybe I won't be able to, you know what, it's more like that, okay, I need to make her feel proud, I need to make everyone feel proud of me, because I am still overcompensating for everything. This is what I do. That's how my like personality has developed over the years. I think another challenge is now to actually convince myself is that, you know what, I deserve every bit of it and I
Yeah.
am doing great. But she makes sure that I feel secure, I feel safe, I feel valued, I feel respected. So she's the one who is making it all, you know, comfortable and safe for me. So I don't
Yeah.
really need to see that challenging part. And we both are like we said, that we are co-parenting this product together.
Right.
So any problem comes up, we are there. You know, the tech team that we have it from Bangladesh, by the way.
A new
So
tech team, not the
a new
one that
tech
we have
team.
ready for the
Not
beta.
the bad tech
No,
team.
no, because we were ready for launch and that completely project went to the
It just,
garbage. We had
yeah.
to restart completely. And I
Oof.
had no idea where I was going to start. I actually stopped working on the project for a year. I
Mm.
was dealing with my disease and sexual assault and everything else going on in depression. That was my aha moment, which I know you're actually going to ask us soon,
Yeah.
was I'm in bed and I'm like, there's no more answers left.
Mm.
And the one thing that could actually provide me solace and support was the one thing that I stopped working on.
Yeah.
So it was just a full circle moment. That was my
Yeah.
aha moment. I'm like, I need this. I'm rock bottom. I need this. Other people need this. I
That's
got to
right.
get up and I got to make it. And
That's
that's
right.
when I started looking for the interns. And then Lamia came in. And then Lamia found us the new tech team. And she's not even in tech.
And that, see, that is an aha of like the passion that fueled it to go, you know what? I've got this problem. I'm solving the problem and I'm not alone in this
Yeah.
problem. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's amazing. And like you said, that's how things happen for a reason. You would have never met Lamia if you hadn't gone through that.
No, no.
Timing is it's funny
Beautiful.
how the universe works out that way, right?
And
Yeah.
our tech team is actually working bootstrapped with us. So
Yeah.
Lamia was able to be so resourceful and find a whole tech team that were passionate about our journey and our project.
Mm.
And we're just, once we get the funds, they'll be compensated. But
Yeah.
amazing.
But they believe in it just the same, which is
And yeah, and you know what? It was not difficult for me to bring this people in the team, because I don't know, I earned these much of respect and love from these people, because we're who are like really believing, because they uh, believed in me, then because they didn't know Razan, or they didn't know the product, because they are more into the tech, not into the emotion. Because I was dealing with depression, I'm still dealing with it and everything. So for me,
right.
it's a dream project. For me, it's more like, you know what, I got the opportunity to bring something that I have been looking for. Now this is my moment for, you know, just making it come true. But they were believing, they were just completely having this blind faith on me, that, you know what, we know once you get the fund, we will be given like a respectful amount, or whatever it is, the share of
Like
it.
we
So
believe it. We know it's going to
yeah,
work.
so they
Yeah.
Yeah.
they are believing in us, that we will not like cheat on them or something, that once we get the fund, we don't know you, or
Yeah.
something like that.
Okay. You were talking about the finding the tech team and that they have full trust. They know they're
Yeah.
going to get compensated. And you guys have found somebody. I mean, not just you guys found each other that are equally passionate um, for building this, company and this platform, but you've also found an extended team that also believes in what you're doing, which is so rare. I applaud you guys. That is, it's one of the hardest things a founder can do, is finding those people that
Yeah,
community
the right people.
that is walking alongside you, making your mission happen.
And what I love
And
about this is we created InPower when there was a need. It wasn't like we thought of an idea and then we're looking for the market.
Right.
The market was already there, and
You're
the
just
interest
you're
and
just entering it and going, how do we bring this community? You're just
exactly.
creating the platform to bring everybody together. We call, well, I would say you're the connective tissue
Ooh,
in that that's what we say about Orange Whip. We're the connective tissue within like a local market within founders and entrepreneurs. You
mm,
guys, the market's there.
yeah.
You just got
Yeah.
to feed it and serve it in a way that benefits them.
And it's Lamia and I.
Right.
And we have a bunch of people working under us, but it's like that is a struggle that we're facing right now is Instagram has over 100 developers, Facebook has over 100 developers. We
Yeah.
have 6.
Yeah.
And so things are slow. And
Yeah.
now we're managing our experts, these prestige people that we're working with, psychologists and all over the world. And we need to find the time to, meet
Mm.
them. We have to find the time to run our social media, also create
Oh,
contracts ourselves.
right. How many hats are you wearing? Like, right. We're now general counsel. We're an attorney hat, and then now we're
Oh, and
social
then now
media.
Lamia's my
Now
counselor.
we're now we're I'm a coder.
Yeah.
yeah,
So
uh,
there's not enough time in the day, and especially having a child too. And Lamia
Yeah.
has as well.
How
and
how young are your kids?
mine is
Oh
10.
yeah.
Oh,
So
good.
So
mine
yeah, he is
is
more mature than me.
10 years old.
Yeah. Lami said that. Lami, your son's 10. Did I hear that right?
Yeah,
Yeah, 10 years old.
10 years old. And Razan,
yeah,
how old is your?
Malik, he's 16
yeah.
months.
Oh my
Um,
goodness,
and
baby.
he's a baby. And that's actually, I met Lamia when I was
Ah,
still pregnant. And 2 days later, I was working full time
Yeah.
on
Oh, I don't
Power.
even tell you. I have 4 kids. They're now 13 to 24. But
Wow.
I literally I was with my third child. All my labors were like 30 plus hours, 36 hours. They were long forever. And it's a joke among kind of the business community. It's known when I was in labor at the hospital system was one of my clients, and
Oh,
I'm negotiating contracts for them from my
oh my,
from my bed, and the chief marketing officer and the chief public affairs officer we're down like having a status meeting in my labor
okay,
room.
everyone gets it. They
Yeah.
get it. So
We're
I just had deviated septum surgery, and the anesthesia, when I was coming to, I was giving an empowered presentation. I
We've
didn't realize.
all
I woke up, I was like, I was speaking out loud, and they're all sitting around me. I'm like, oh,
yeah.
but are you
Oh, that
interested
was
in
it for
learning?
real? Yeah. Say we've all
and
been
I think
there,
Yeah, that's
unfortunately.
yeah,
But that's okay.
and we wear it like proudly. Like this is something that we're really
Yeah.
proud of. So whenever we are in a public gathering with our friends or anything, if you like ask anyone, they will just tell you that she only talks about it. That okay, that's how we're
yeah,
doing it. Now we're at the stage and everything. So I'm so proud that we're making it
yeah.
happen. So yeah, it's more
Yeah.
like talking about your
And when we
baby.
wear all the when we wear all the hats, sometimes everyone has doubt in their mind. As
Right.
as confident as we are, something could happen. The world could explode.
That's right.
That's what scares me sometimes. Is if this didn't work out, what expertise do I have? I know a little bit of a lot. You
Yeah.
know what I mean?
It's the grit. I call it you've got the grit and gumption to do whatever you put your mind to. That's a skill set that you can't teach, but it is so valuable and can apply to so many other things.
Yeah, I would. Yeah, you would have to find. It would always stay in business and entrepreneurship, but it's like
Yeah,
starting something again from scratch. You would find different hats that you'd wear
that's
that you
right.
didn't find the
You
first
go
time.
in you go in more fearless.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
totally.
And
So okay,
I feel
if
sometimes.
oh go ahead.
No, I was just saying that
Go
I
ahead,
feel
Lami.
sometimes your work. Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah.
Okay, so sometimes I feel that your work and your destiny actually it finds you. So when she was saying that, what she
Mm.
didn't know if it didn't work out, what would happen, or even for me, like without InPower, now that I think that, okay, what I would have been doing, maybe working in a multinational company or going for my master's. Actually, I got admission somewhere with 85% of a scholarship. I was about to leave for my master's, that I dropped completely because I wanted to do PhD and just like
No, because you want it to
go
be with
and
Empower.
Right.
yeah. So I just dropped it, and I was like, you know what, this is what I want to do.
You're
End of the
you're
day,
getting a
after
PhD on your own business.
yeah, of course. So there is no need for
Yeah.
it. Eventually, my experience will be a book itself. So yeah.
That's right. That's right. So okay, if we met a year from now, I'm coming to visit you next January. What would we be celebrating?
Empower to the public.
All right, the launch of InPower.
It's launching this year, but yeah, next year it'll already be like in Canada or maybe US by then.
Oh, fantastic. So, okay, so we're going to manifest that. We're putting that out in the universe. It's going to happen. Okay, so here's one of my my questions that I was talk to you guys about. Really, now I'm really interested in your answers. If for each of you, if you want to answer, if you had to sum up your journey of becoming an entrepreneur and founding InPower, co-founding InPower, what would be that word and why? Razan?
Oh, sure. I'm going between two words, but I guess reflection.
Reflection. Okay. And why
Every,
that word?
yeah, every single learning curve and every single day, I have to reflect on why is this the way it is and why am I acting this way? Just like Lamia was explaining, like showing up to work every day
Hmm.
and being whole and complete. And I'm understanding that I can only put out as much as I feel in.
Hmm.
If I'm not complete feeling inside, then I can't produce as much.
Right.
So this whole journey has been a lot of reflection,
Hmm.
also like not feeling like I deserve in power all the time,
Yeah.
reflecting why I feel like that too. So I'm growing with the
With
reflection
the
of as
reflection.
well.
So important. I love
Yeah.
that word. Lamia, what's your word?
It's empowerment. It's
Empowerment.
empowerment for me because, like she said, we have self doubts, we have everything.
Mm-hmm.
But when I think about empower, finding it and working for it, it's so empowering itself that, you know what, this platform is going to change lives. This platform is going to bring back peace. It's going to change mindset. It's going to bring people together. That feeling itself is so empowering. So without it, maybe I would not feel the same way. Every day I feel, you know what?
Right.
I just look myself into the mirror. I just say that I'm a co-founder and I'm the COO.
Yeah.
I'm creating Empower. So it's very empowering. Even when someone asks me, what do you do? When you tell them, they look for you, they Google you, and they find you somewhere.
Yeah.
And that moment, that feeling itself is so empowering that yes, I am doing something notable. So yeah.
Well, I
I,
love that answer. Ours are kind of like opposite because hers is the empowerment I should be feeling. Mine is the reflection why I'm not feeling
right.
that way.
Well, I
And
think
it's both.
those are both two amazing words. We have asked hundreds, almost probably a little over 1,000 founders over the last couple of years this same question. We get a different answer. We have not had overlap words at all.
I love.
And it just goes to we might have similar themes that we all face kind of an imposter syndrome, or we've all kind of, hit those walls, those oh shit moments, those aha moments.
Mhm.
There's, we all kind of have these different similar themes, but we all get there. Um, we all have our different journeys and they're very individual.
Yeah.
So I love the words. Okay,
Yeah.
so now if we look fast forward, the next chapter that you're in your journey, what's the next chapter's word and why?
For me,
Yeah,
it's complete because
complete.
I need empower for
Yeah,
self
to
development, for
become more
elevation,
whole.
for
Yeah,
empowerment. Exactly. So for me, that's the destination I need to be complete.
Ah, what a great word. What about you, Lamia?
For me, I think it's peace. For me, peace is very important. I mean, wherever you are, if you are not in peace with that, then there is no way you are growing. So even if
Yeah,
you're not peace with your chaos, you're not peace with your happiness, content with it.
that's right.
That contentment and peace is so important. And that's what I see fast forward in a few years. InPower will bring that peace back to everyone's
Yeah.
life.
I love it. I love it. Is there advice that you would give that either you've been given by another founder, an entrepreneur, business leader that you guys really took to heart that impacted your decision making? Is there anything that you want to share with the listeners?
You know what? People told me, even that partner I had who stole the money from us, even told me, don't trust anyone in business. And
Ah,
I would always say to him, I trust you. And look what happened. That's an advice I wouldn't take though. I
yeah,
think a lot of mutual respect and trust is built on the connection,
yeah,
but have everything in writing. I know
yeah.
I even said before, like the contracts don't mean much, but if you do get bigger with your business, you'll have that and you'll have the money to,
That's right.
yeah,
Document everything. That's right. Lamia,
yeah,
what about you? Did anybody
that's
give you
very
advice
important.
that you were like, oh,
I think you need to, first of all, believe in yourself and you need to push yourself every day and keep working. Because if you stop, then you're not getting there. If you feel that
yeah,
one day something is not working out, so I should just stop everything, that's not how you become successful. That's not how you
yeah,
actually make something happen. So you need to keep believing, you need to keep working. Even if you fail 1,000 times, you need to know how to restart, because if you
that's
have
right.
done it once, you can do it like every 100 times. So
That's right.
I think we should keep on just going on and just keep going with this and just keep believing in that vision.
Just,
I like that you mentioned that, Lamia, because our baseline, we always go back to our habits.
yeah.
If people are stressed and they drink or they scream at people, whatever, your habits will define how you come back and show
Mm,
up. If you start learning healthier habits, you will be better for your business because
that,
so many things have happened to me. Like I used to party, I was a party girl.
we're-
And then when things would get stressful, I would go drink and it would take 3 days to recover. You know what I
yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
So now it's the gym, but
That's that's right. But no, those healthier habits. I mean, they always say, make sure you get up, drink lots of water. I mean, I've been on a health kick journey and a mental wellness journey, and it's completely transformed kind of my mindset, my focus. I fell back in love with my business. And I think we all kind of do that. We all kind of go through the roller coasters. You have the highs and the lows. Someone
Mhm.
told me they're like, there's two emotions of being a founder, and that is euphoria and depression.
Yeah,
They're like,
that's true.
we always
That's
strive,
true.
like, there's never that like middle. It's like, but we all want
Yeah.
that, and we're going to get there. But like, you go, it's the ups and then the downs. And
No,
one
because we
advice that I
expect.
will give is sorry.
yeah.
One advice that I would give is they say excitement and anxiety give you the same experience, the same
Oh,
feeling. Yeah. So when you're excited, it's the same feeling that you feel when you're anxious.
oh,
So I had been anxious a lot through Empower.
yeah.
Um, but then I'm now channeling excitement. And now you can see like our calls, like before I was overwhelmed. Maybe it's my ADHD medication, but I was overwhelmed. Like, oh, we have to do this and this. Now, instead of saying I have to, I am saying I get
I
to.
get to. It's total a mindset change. You're right.
Totally.
But
And
I
they
didn't
say,
even think about that. That like the feeling is the same.
Yeah,
It's just how do you
the
channel that?
kick.
yeah,
Yeah.
Ah,
And
that,
I think
that's
another
a great. That's an aha right there.
and I think another thing that I guess being a mom, everyone feels that that guilt that we are not balancing life and
Hmm.
profession together. We are putting so much time on work and everything. I think feeling guilty is not okay, and especially when you're a woman, so everyone puts that
Yeah.
guilt way too much on you, that okay, you are neglecting something and you are focusing on something, you're being selfish and whatnot. But I think eventually you will know how to balance it. Sometimes we need to prioritize work more, sometimes we need to prioritize our child more. I'm not saying that okay, you should not be prioritizing, but there will be, you know what, even a relationship cannot be 50-50. I don't believe in that. It's 70-30
Right.
always. So I think balancing it out is very important, but to even balance it out, you will have to get there. Sometimes you will fail, but don't
Yeah.
let that guilt actually drown you down there,
Yeah.
because it actually
That's
stops
right. And
that
we face
progress.
that as moms, I think.
Yeah,
Yeah.
a lot.
And we just got, I've had to learn to go, can't, you just can't go there. And you have a higher purpose and you're serving your kids in just a different way.
Yeah.
That's not necessarily, sometimes not societal norms.
Yeah,
Um, and as women, we need to stop judging each other and empowering each other
I
very.
have a lot
and
of
holding
guilt.
each
I
other
was
up.
working 2 days after I gave birth, or I had Malik. Um, and I was working 10-hour days.
Yeah.
I didn't feel like I was present. So I do have a lot of guilt. So thank you, Lamia, for saying that. I need to
Yeah.
really release that.
That's right. That's right. Because you, you're serving the universe with your gifts.
I was saying I'm doing this for him,
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
right. That's right. Um, well, my goodness, I'm amazed at how fast these things go. We're you know, I could go on. We could talk forever on
Yeah.
and go way deeper. Um, but before we go, where do you want people to connect, find out more? Like, how can they support? How can they get involved?
Yeah.
Give us the info.
We're always looking for interns and volunteers. We've always made a promise that everyone we hire will be from being an intern or volunteer.
Okay.
There's no one we're hiring through InPower outside, because we just started off as two young girls with a dream, and we learned, and that's what we're doing with InPower. You can go to our website, weareinpower.com, and you can sign up if you want to intern and volunteer. We have an Instagram, we are InPower underscore. And yeah, we reach out if you're it's interested, and we can sign up for the beta as well on our website.
Perfect.
We're very close to launching.
You need people's feedback. So
Yes.
yeah. So everyone, we'll make sure to tag all that and promote that in this episode. Thank you
Thank you.
guys. I
Thank
appreciate.
you.
I love meeting you both,
Thank you.
and I'm excited to see your journey play out.
Thank you
Thanks
It'll
so
be
so
much.
great.
much.
Go in power.
Yeah.
And for everyone listening and watching, thank you for hanging out with us today. The podcast will be available, of course, on all your podcast platforms. So subscribe to Hello Chaos. Give us a 5-star review on Apple or Spotify. Share this great content and help us build a more connected entrepreneurial community. Hello Chaos is one of the many resources brought to you by Orange Whip. That is Orange Whip, WIP for work in progress. Orange Whip is a multimedia company dedicated to serving founders and entrepreneurs in affiliate cities. We've designed hyper-local media platforms to inform, inspire, and be the independent connective tissue between founders and the local entrepreneurial ecosystem. Our innovative digital zines are all-in-one content hub with fresh and engaging stories, curated local calendars, and local dynamic roadmaps to help founders navigate their local ecosystems with ease. We've done all the hard work for the founders. They just need to go to one trusted source, Orange Whip. We're currently in 3 South Carolina markets today. We will be expanding to other markets, other cities. Every city needs an Orange Whip. If you'd like to be a guest on our podcast or support us, send us an email to hello@orangewhip.com. Thank you for tuning in to Hello Chaos. It is where aha meets oh shit, and I will see you again next week.